Hello and welcome Sagittarius to your monthly forecast for this upcoming month of January 2023. Now this is for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And this is really just to check in and see what this month holds energetically, what you might expect, and how we can best utilize and work with these energies for our highest good and well-being. And of course, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Now let's start off with this month of January here, Sagittarius. This really is a focal point for relationships, growth, and learning. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Six of Wands. You might notice there might be some really honest and open conversations with some of the relationships in your life. Being the Queen of Cups, these can be your romantic partnerships, these can be close family, even your children, but there needs to be some honest conversations, things that just need to be said in order to clear the air, in order to move on from something that might be bothering you or irritating you or keeping you kind of stuck. Page of Swords conversations can be a little blunt. They don't have to be rude. They don't have to be mean, but they do have to be honest. And you might notice these conversations happen of their own accord, right? Impulsively. But this has to happen in order to reclaim your sense of self, your sense of confidence, your sense of power. These conversations need to be had to clear the air. You have it with the Ten of Wands because in some way, these relationships might be out of equilibrium. That might be stressing you out a little bit. You might be giving more than you're actually receiving. So there's not really this beautiful level of reciprocity. And so therefore something has to be said. This can be with your partner, maybe, your family. This can be with close friends, but something here needs to be cleared out in order for equilibrium to be restored because it really is causing a little bit too much work for you. You might be trying to please everybody, trying to make sure everything's done, and you're a one-person show. That's not sustainable. Other people need to pick up their weight. Other people need to be accountable. Other people need to be responsible. And there's no tiptoeing around this or giving pleasant little hints. You're just gonna have to say it, Sagittarius. You have it with the Eight of Coins. This is a bit of a lesson for you, and I know Sagittarius and fire signs in general are really good about just saying what's on their mind, but there is a bit of a lesson here with this King of Swords. It's teaching you how to be a lot more diplomatic, Sagittarius, versus either just saying forget it and doing it on your own or kind of bursting out. It's teaching you how to delegate. It's teaching you how to be mentally and emotionally balanced and coming from this space of speaking your mind without being overly influenced by your emotions is helping you to be a little bit more objective in your approach. There's nothing wrong with being honest when it's, number one, a truth, and when it's said from this place of balance, from this place of logic and objectivity. You have it with the Nine of Coins and the Three of Swords. This needs to happen in order for something to be restored. Whenever you have the Nine of Coins, you've worked really hard, Sagittarius. You do what you have to do, and still somehow, some way, your energy is being leaked, and those plugs need to be well plugged. You have it with the Three of Swords, the Seven of Coins, and the Death card. Some of the stuff that's happening this month, Sagittarius, might be triggering old wounds. It might be something that really needs to heal. Perhaps you're used to always taking the reins. Perhaps you're used to always being the one to lead. Perhaps you're used to a certain way of being, and it's not working for you anymore. There might be something that has to be able to be relieved. Maybe you are looking to be supported, for someone to give back to you, maybe for things to be more vulnerable, loving, and honest. Whatever this is, there is something here, a lesson that is reoccurring. It could be the same lesson you're having with your partner. It could be the same lesson you're having with your family, your friends, or children. But this needs to be nipped because it is something that's causing a bit of a pain. It could be stress. It doesn't have to be like, breaking your heart. But the Three of Swords it's a time to really heal, forgive, let go. You have it with the Seven of Coins. The universe is saying, look, you need to have these conversations because this is not something you want to move forward with you. Whenever you have the Seven of Coins, you have to look and say, okay, in the future, if I'm going to invest my time and energy into this person, is this going to have a return on investment? Do I want to have this in order to move forward, either with this person or with yourself, Sagittarius? It is required for you to let go, to heal, to clear the air. The Death card, to end cycles. Now, this could mean that certain relationships might need to come to an end in the month of January, or it could also mean that a certain phase of the relationship needs to come to an end. A certain chapter needs to come to the end. So we have to clear the air. Where are we headed? Where are we going? And if we are moving forward, how are we going to move forward? How is this relationship need to look in order for us to move to this heightened level, to develop this new level of trust and experience in a relationship? Now, this might sound very romantic, and for some Sagittarius, it can be, but this can also just be the relationship you have with your mother, with your child, with your best friend, with your roommate. It doesn't matter. Something needs to be approached here before it kind of gets a little bit either more toxic or a little bit more stagnant. Clear this air, because this tension and stress, number one, it's not sustainable. Number two, it's not healthy. Number three, it's not something you want to carry on. So let's do this. Let's learn this lesson. Let's kind of cut, clear, release this old pain, and let's look at how we want to move forward in the future. The Death card is a transformational card. Yes, it's spiritual transformation, but it's also personal transformation. And moving forward, how do I want to be? This new Sagittarian, like, okay, now I'm going to have these boundaries. Now I'm going to have these clear-cut needs and wants and everything explained. How do I want to move forward? But there is a need to move forward. We have it with the Knight of Coins and the Eight of Wands. I think what the universe is asking you to do is to really honor the commitments that you've made to yourself, Sagittarius, and have these important conversations. The Eight of Wands is things might move a bit fast once you initiate these conversations. The Eight of Wands also represents really important communication that needs to be had, Sagittarius. Don't tiptoe around this. Don't just try to like, whatever, I'll get over it, or they'll get over it, or things might just get better. No, the elephants in the room need to be discussed. And when you have this, the universe wants you to stop procrastinating. No more delays. And once you do this, Sagittarius, you're going to feel so much better. Not just because it was said off of your chest, things are clear, but more importantly, there's really solid lines. Either, get on with, I don't want to use the terminology, but like shit or get off the pot. Work with me on this or get out. But I need to make sure that I'm feeling well. I need to make sure that the relationships in my lives are healthy, reciprocal. And I don't want to have to, give subtle hints. I want to make sure we have this open, beautiful way of communicating with each other that allows for us to learn together, to grow, to evolve, and to allow for a healthy, just symbiotic relationship here. This month of January really is having you step into this place of power, because you're coming from a place of diplomacy, objectivity, knowledge, wisdom, and being able to have these conversations now without feeling overwhelmed, too stressed, and more importantly, not too over emotional. And I think the reason you're having some of these conversations, Sagittarius, is because you care, because you probably genuinely love the person and you're really trying to find solutions. But it does take two people. And depending if you're doing this with one person or more people, Sagittarius, understand this is to help get you unstuck so that you can get the energy flowing again. Because we start with the Queen of Cups, when water doesn't move, it becomes poisonous and stagnant. So if you're holding emotions in, if something's bothering you and you're not talking about it, if you're just trying to work through it, that's not healthy. So let's open this up, allow for things to flow, figure stuff out, and decide like, okay, I'm going to let this go now. I'm here moving forward. This is how things are going to be, or not at all. This is really about self-love. This is really about leveling up for yourself, making sure the relationships in your life are what you want them to be. They reflect the level of healthy communication and transparency and support that you and I feel everybody else values and deserves, in order to be less stressed, Sagittarius, in order to not have to do so much, in order for you to be given the support and the love that you deserve and require, and allowing you to learn how to really honor that for yourself, working hard to honor that for yourself. I think this is an incredible month of January. I think this is really going to allow for lots of relationships to level out, to level up, to heal, to grow, and to move forward, because we're having that dialogue and because we're willing to honor what we're a little afraid to talk about. I think it's a beautiful month. I hope you benefit from all of your relationships. I hope this serves you in some way, and I will see you next month for next month's readings. Take care.